Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the McGraw Report. I'm Harry McGraw, your host, and today we have another exciting guest on our show from Ernest Sawyer Enterprises. We have the president and CEO of Ernest Sawyer Enterprises, Mr. Ernest Sawyer, is here on the McGraw Report. We're going to talk about development in the black community and what's been going on in and around Chicago with Ernest Sawyer Enterprises. So give them a call, 312-738-1060. That's our number. And first of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Sawyer, for being on the show.
Yes, Mr. McGraw, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Much. Great to be with you.
You know, this guy is a great Chicagoan. He's like a favorite son here in the city, and we are so honored to have him here on the show. And I just wanted to start off by saying that, I respect the family, the Sawyer family. And, as some of you may know, he has a striking resemblance to our former mayor, Eugene Sawyer. That's because this is his brother. And he's also a very savvy businessman himself in and around Chicago. And he's been doing some wonderful things with the Salvation Army and some other organizations. So we're really excited to have you. Now, before I start talking about you, Ernest, I want to just say, how did you feel back then? I know you were the head of planning back in the day with CTA. You used to do some stuff with the city and all that. And back during that time, it was the council wars and all that stuff going on. And your brother was right there in the mix. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's the first black mayor of the city of Chicago. How did you feel about that?
Well, it was a great opportunity, we thought. After, I remember the day that when we lost Harold Washington, and Eugene was president pro tem at that time of the city council. I was the deputy executive director for planning and development for the Chicago Transit Authority that time back in 1985, 87, I think it was. And certainly we knew, and, in understanding as all the things started to evolve about the mayor's office and what was going to happen, and being around and involved in understanding the way things played out at City Hall and how knowing that the next mayor had to come from the ranks of the city council. There was
no way around it.
There's no way around that, right? And that when you look at the record and how Eugene had positioned himself historically, the number of years that he had been there, and his credibility amongst his fellow aldermen, that was the only person there that fit the criteria that could have done that job.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, I think that common heads could have prevailed. It would have been quite a different legacy that could have been happened during that era.
Yeah, I agree with you. But history has a funny way of revealing truths, over
That's
time.
True.
And so I really think that that move was a significant move in Chicago history, something that I'm very proud of, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yes, we are, very much so.
And we're proud of you today, what you're doing today. A lot of the stuff that I've been hearing about is just awesome. Some of the new projects that you've been working on, some of the talks that you've been getting into, very exciting. And the last time I spoke to you, we were talking about the new center out in the 34th Ward with Alderman Kerry Austin.
Right,
and
exactly.
what you did out there. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we can talk about that. You're talking about the Ray and Joan Croc Community Center,
exactly.
Which is now up and in operation at 119th and Morgan in the area near Christ Universal Temple, almost right across the street from there. It's a little bit up the street from that. And I think that that project is doing wonders for that community and will be a beacon for that community for many, many years to come. And the history of that project is that, as we know, the Ray and Joan Croc, who were the McDonald's founders, and Joan Croc, who was the heir to the estate, the McDonald's estate, after she had taken care of all of her family needs and what have you. Upon her passing, in her will, she left $1.3 billion to the Salvation Army. And basically, as you get into it to understand, well, why the Salvation Army, from perspective as her understanding was that was an organization that could implement what she wanted to see happen with her money without a lot of extraordinary overhead of money not going to the projects, but money going to the project and not for administrative purposes and all of that. And so the idea was to develop, I think, about 23 of these across the country. Cities like New York, Chicago, Philadelphia.
Nationwide,
right. And the estate called for the largest one. They wanted to be in Chicago because of the history of the McDonald's empire in Chicago area. And so
that's wonderful.
We have worked through that process, which was a long process, and it is now up and open and running and making a difference in that community.
It is a wonderful facility, by the way. You and your team did an outstanding job of developing that particular piece of real estate. It's one of those rare opportunities for young African Americans to have a state-of-the-art facility for major sports, swimming. I saw a state-of-the-art health club in there.
Yes, right.
A theater.
The arts, right. Right. And now the center itself is not just for sports. There's things for the arts. And one of the things that you may want to check out, you go back out, there's a culinary school there.
Wow.
Right. You should see the kitchen there. They want to teach young people how to cook and prepare meals, serve meals. They are going to be training and teaching them how to come to an event and sit down with dinner and entertain females and girls. Etiquette, right.
Oh, wow.
They're going to be training that. So it covers the whole layer of socializing and events, and not only just the sports, but the arts, the sports, the cultural, job training, the computer skills, you name it.
Wow.
It's there.
And so how do you get involved in this new facility? Is this one of those type of facilities where you just come in, or do you need to join a
well, one of the things that, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think this is very important for your audience to understand. One of the things that Joan Croc did in her will, not only did she leave money to build the facility, but as you know from your experience, that when you build something, the big cost is the continued long-term operations. She also left an endowment for that facility to make sure that it would have money to operate for forever in that endowment, and that the memberships would be at a very low price so that no kid and family would be turned away. And so basically what it is on an income ability to pay basis, the memberships are. And you know, for a family of four, depends on the income, they can pay as little as $30, $35 a month.
That is wonderful.
Right, to be members, right.
That is wonderful.
And as I understand it, the membership now, I think they were hoping to get to 5,000. They went at 5,000 after about 6 weeks.
Oh, my goodness. So it's a rousing success in the African-American community, and we are so proud of that. Ernest Sawyer is here on the McGraw Report. Give him a call, 312-738-1060. Mr. Sawyer is here. We're talking about development in and around the city of Chicago. Mr. Sawyer has been working tirelessly to help stem the tide of some of these neighborhoods that have been blighted, neighborhoods that need a kind of an uplift, a makeover, if you will, something to help our kids. Give them a call, 312-738-1060.